Online. One single word, but it held more tension than any scream. The interface was cold. Max didn't move. The screen showed User Online. No name, no avatar, nothing. Only a presence. She wrote first, "You still think this is about money." Max stared at the text. He started typing, stopped, deleted, started again. "You still think this is about control." He hit send. A beat, short but heavy. "Control is an illusion you sold to yourself." Max smiled grimly, still using the same language. Alex leaned in, looking at him. "She's reading you." "Yes," Max said, "and I want her to." He opened a hidden layer of the site, the code. A trigger was buried there, invisible. If a user interacts for more than 40 seconds, a script activates. Thin, quiet, scanning. "It's a risk," Sarah whispered. "If she notices..." "She'll notice," Max cut her off. "The question is when." A new message appeared. "You've become more careful." Max didn't answer immediately. He waited. He counted the seconds. 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. The script activated. Alex lunged forward. "Contact. The IP is starting to show." Not fully. Fragments. As if someone were erasing it in real time. Max typed, "You too, but you're still here." The reply came instantly. "Because you are still predictable." Max froze. She wasn't just answering, she was leading. Alex straightened up suddenly. "Wait, the screen is flickering. The IP is gone." "She's cutting the connection," he said. "She knows." Max spoke softly. "No, she's allowing it." Sarah felt it first, not through words, but instinct. "Max." He didn't turn around. A new message. "Do you really think I don't see the layer beneath the interface? You aren't the only one who can design behavior." Max leaned toward the screen. "Fine." He began typing faster. "Then why are you here?" Sent. The silence lasted longer than before. 5 seconds. "Because you are the only one who didn't break immediately." Silence in the room. Sarah looked at him. "That's not a compliment." Max nodded. "No, it's a selection process." Suddenly, Alex's screen flashed. A new window. Unauthorized access. "We have company," he said. Sarah tensed. "Who?" Alex typed frantically. "Not her. Worse. IP addresses, federal ranges, traffic analysis, signatures." "We're being scanned," Alex said. "Deep." Sarah went pale. "They can see us." Max closed his eyes for a second. Too many layers. Her, them, the system. He opened his eyes. Calm. Too calm. A message from her appeared. "You brought observers. That was a mistake." Max typed back. "No, it's an acceleration." Alex's voice turned sharp. "Max, we need to disconnect, now." "They're going to lock onto us," Sarah added. Max didn't move. He kept his eyes on the screen. Her message, "Are you ready to risk everything for this?" He didn't type his answer. He said it out loud first. "There is no everything anymore. There is only you." Then he hit send. Yes. The response wasn't text. The screen blinked. The interface changed. Genesis Prime disappeared. A new layer, black screen, white text. Then let's do this without interfaces. Max's heart rate climbed, but his face remained a mask. The last line appeared. "You already found the address. Come alone." The connection dropped. Total blackout. No one spoke. Alex was the first to break it. "It's a trap." "Obviously," Sarah added. They both looked at Max. He closed his laptop, slowly. Yes, but the rules are different now. Sarah frowned. What rules? He looked at her. There was something new in his eyes. Not anger, not fear. Control. Real control. Now, she isn't the only one designing the system. Max grabbed his jacket, his phone, the coordinates. I'm going. Sarah stepped forward. We aren't letting you go alone. He stopped at the door. You have to trust that I know what I'm doing. Alex spoke quietly. Are you sure? Max opened the door. The cold air rushed in. No. He stepped out into the night. But she is. New York at night is back to what it's always been. Noise, light, movement. And beneath it all, thousands of decisions that no one even realizes they're making. The address stopped at the building, Manhattan, an old business center, glass and concrete. Some windows were dark, others were not. No sign, no tracks. Perfect. The entrance. The door opened, without a key, without a code, as if it were already waiting for him. Max didn't hesitate. He walked in. The elevator. It was empty. The button was already lit. Floor 23. Max smirked. Of course. The doors closed. Silence. Only a faint hum and his own breathing. The moment. He caught himself thinking. He didn't have a plan. Not a real one. Only a direction. And that was enough. The doors opened. A hallway. Long. White. Too clean. At the end, a single door. Black. The approach. Every step sounded louder than it should. Max stopped in front of the door. He didn't knock. He just opened it. The room. Empty. Almost. A table. 2 chairs. A window. The city beneath his feet. And her. Elina. She sat with her back to the window. The light behind her made her silhouette sharper, defined, as if she wasn't a person, just an outline. You came, she said, calmly, as if they had never been apart. Max, he didn't sit down right away. He watched, and for the first time, he tried to see her without the filters. You knew I'd come, she smiled slightly. I knew you wouldn't be able not to. Those are different things. The distance. He sat down, opposite her, the table between them, like a border. Silence. They looked at each other, longer than people usually do, but neither turned away. The first move. Where is the money? Max said. Direct. No detours. Elina didn't answer immediately. She was observing. You're still starting with that, she said, quietly. The counterattack. No, he said. I'm just checking if you're lying right now. Her gaze changed, slightly. Interest. The answer. The money is where you left it, she said. Max didn't blink. In a system that doesn't exist? She leaned forward. In the decision that you made. Closer. He leaned in, too. Then tell me the truth. Is this an experiment? She looked at him, longer than before. The truth. Yes, she said. Simple. No defense, no excuse. The blow. Max exhaled, slowly. How many of us were there? You don't want to know, she said. I do. She looked toward the window. For a second, just long enough for the pattern to become clear. The realization. You're not stealing money, Max said. No. You're stealing behavior. She looked at him, and for the first time, she smiled for real. Finally, the shift. Why? He asked. She leaned back in her chair. Because money is a side effect. The real resource is decisions. Deeper. She stood up, walked to the window. People think they are choosing. No choice is just a reaction to a correctly built interface. She turned to him. I am removing the interface, and I'm seeing what remains. The point. And what remains? Max asked quietly. She looked straight into him. Almost nothing. The tension. The silence became heavy. Not aggressive. Dangerous. Personal. And me? Max asked. You remained. It sounded different. Quieter. The second. He stood up. Slowly. He walked closer. Now there was no table between them. Then why did you disappear? She didn't back down. Because you started asking the right questions. Closer. The distance almost vanished, he said. She watched, and this time, in her eyes, there was more than just coldness. Something else. Very faint, but it was there. The answer. Because you became a variable, she said, and I don't like variables. The moment. He smirked. The problem is, I don't either. Breaking the balance. She took a step back. The first time. You think you're controlling this now? No, Max said. I think you're just not controlling everything anymore. Silence. And that was new. She went quiet, a second longer than she should have. The final move. Did you come for the money? She asked. No, I came for the system. The turning point. She narrowed her eyes. You don't understand what you're trying to enter. Max answered calmly. Then explain it to me. The last line. She looked at him and said, Fine, but the next step isn't here. And she added quietly, almost a whisper, and after that, you won't be able to get out. End of chapter. Max didn't flinch. I'm already inside. Silence. And for the first time, she didn't argue.